Have you ever noticed how a single moment, a single word, can change the way someone walks through the world that day? How the warmth of your attention, the sincerity of your gaze, can plant seeds in someone's heart that bloom long after you have left. Making someone feel special is not about grand gestures or perfection. It is about presence, about noticing the unseen, about honoring the person before you as if they are the only one who matters in that instant. Life moves fast, and often we overlook the simple truth that everyone longs to be seen. The truth is that no one needs perfect words. No one needs elaborate plans to feel valued. What they need is a heart that listens without judgment, a soul that acknowledges their struggles and celebrates their victories. When you greet someone, do not just say hello. Look into their eyes and say it with your being. Let them know that their existence matters, that their laughter matters, that their pain matters. Presence is more powerful than any gift. Think about the smallest things that touch you deeply in life. A handwritten note, a genuine compliment, remembering a detail they shared with you. These are not small gestures, they are the bridges between hearts. To make someone feel special, you must see them fully, not just their smile, but their silence, not just their triumphs, but their doubts. When you see the entire person, the good and the fragile, you honor their humanity. And that honor is rare. That honor is sacred. It is also about intention. Every word you speak, every action you take should carry the weight of care. Let your kindness be steady, consistent, like the gentle rhythm of the sun rising every morning. Do not wait for moments to be perfect, for hearts to be ready, or for timing to be convenient. The world is full of distractions, but love and attention demand nothing but your choice to show up fully. Speak with empathy. Act with understanding. Touch lives with authenticity. Remember, the energy you carry speaks louder than the words you utter. When you are genuinely interested in someone's story, when your curiosity is honest, they feel it. They feel that they matter. And when someone feels seen, felt, and valued, they carry that light forward. Your attention is a mirror that reflects their worth back to them. You cannot give them confidence or happiness permanently, but you can offer the moment in which they remember who they truly are. That moment, that recognition, can change everything. When we think about making someone feel special, the first and most powerful step is to truly listen. Not the kind of listening that waits for a pause so you can speak, or the casual nodding while your mind drifts to other things. I am talking about the deep, intentional kind of listening that asks you to be fully present, to immerse yourself in the world of the other person for a while, to make someone feel seen, heard, and valued. Your attention becomes the most precious gift you can give. Every human being has an innate need to be acknowledged, to have their thoughts and emotions recognized as real and significant. And it begins with listening, not just hearing, but absorbing, understanding, and honoring their voice. Listening is an act of love in its purest form. It is saying to someone, without uttering a single word, "You matter. Your experience matters. I am here with you." When you truly listen, you set aside judgment, assumptions, and distractions. Your phone, your busy schedule, your worries, they all fade into the background. The only thing that exists in that moment is the other person, their story, and your undivided attention. And when you do this, you allow them to feel a sense of relief and comfort, a release that comes from being genuinely understood. People carry burdens silently, doubts quietly, and sometimes even the smallest acknowledgement can light up corners of their heart they thought were invisible. There is a subtle power in the art of attentive listening. When someone speaks and you mirror their emotions with empathy, it tells them that you are not just hearing words, but feeling with them, walking alongside them in their journey. Ask questions that show curiosity, repeat reflections that show you understand, and respond with sensitivity that communicates care. Avoid the temptation to interrupt, to offer advice too soon, or to shift the conversation to yourself. This is about them, not about your knowledge or solutions. When you hold space for someone in this way, you create a safe environment where vulnerability is not feared but welcomed. Vulnerability is sacred, and listening is its guardian. Even in silence, listening speaks volumes. Sometimes words are not necessary. The gentle nod of understanding, the warm gaze, the pause that allows someone to collect their thoughts. All of these are forms of listening that make people feel valued. In a world that rushes, that demands productivity, that often undervalues the human need for attention, being fully present becomes revolutionary. Imagine how rare it is for someone to have your complete focus, even for a few minutes, and how transformative that can feel. You are telling them, your life, your feelings, your existence is important enough to be my priority right now. That acknowledgement carries weight far greater than any gift or compliment. True listening also requires humility. It asks you to quiet your ego and to step out of the need to be right, to advise, or to impress. It requires patience, the willingness to sit with someone's thoughts even when they are messy, repetitive, or uncomfortable. It challenges you to resist the urge to judge or fix and instead simply honor what is being shared. Every story, every emotion, every hesitation holds meaning. By choosing to listen with sincerity, you communicate respect for their inner world. You show that you value their humanity, that you honor their presence, and that they are more than just a face in the crowd. They are someone whose life matters to you. When you make listening a habit, it transforms relationships. Friendships deepen, connections strengthen, and trust flourishes. People naturally feel drawn to those who make them feel seen and heard. And this is not about grand gestures. It is about the consistency of attention, the reliability of care. In every conversation, you have an opportunity to make someone feel special simply by being there fully, without distraction or pretense. Your attention is a mirror reflecting back their worth, their dignity, and their value. So, when you think about making someone feel special, remember that the first step does not require wealth, status, or eloquence. It requires presence. It requires a heart willing to pause, a mind willing to focus, and a soul willing to honor another person without conditions. Every act of true listening is a seed planted in their heart, a reminder that they matter, and that in your eyes, their life is significant. Acknowledging someone's efforts, achievements, and struggles is one of the most profound ways to make them feel special. Often, we take for granted the power of recognition, the impact of simply noticing and validating the things that others pour their energy into. Every person carries within them a story of effort, moments of persistence, quiet victories, and silent battles. When we recognize these aspects of their life, we are telling them that their journey matters, that their dedication is seen, and that their struggles are not invisible. Acknowledgement is a bridge between hearts. It creates a sense of connection, respect, and belonging that no words alone can achieve. It starts with attentiveness. To acknowledge someone truly, you must notice what they are doing, not just superficially but with genuine understanding. It is about seeing the long hours they invested, the challenges they overcame, and the courage it took to keep moving forward, even when the path seemed uncertain. Celebrating achievements is easier because society often highlights success, but honoring the effort behind the scenes, the moments of perseverance when no one else was watching, that is what touches the soul. People thrive when they feel that someone sees not only their outcome, but the journey that brought them there. Acknowledgement also means celebrating their uniqueness. Everyone works differently, loves differently, struggles differently, and triumphs differently. When you recognize someone for the way they uniquely navigate life, you send a message that they are valued exactly as they are. This is not about comparing them to others or fitting them into predefined expectations. It is about understanding that their path, their approach, their style, and their rhythm are worthy of recognition. Compliments that come from understanding rather than assumption carry weight. They resonate because they affirm a person's identity and honor their individuality. It is equally important to acknowledge struggles. Life is not only made of victories, and ignoring someone's hardships can leave them feeling unseen. Recognizing someone's struggle shows empathy and compassion. It is not about pity, it is about validating their experience. A simple statement that shows you understand their challenge, that you see the effort they are putting in despite obstacles, can be transformative. Struggle often comes with a sense of isolation, but acknowledgement breaks that isolation. It says, I see you. I see what you are going through, and it matters to me. In these moments, acknowledgement becomes a form of emotional support, a balm that soothes and encourages at the same time. The way you acknowledge someone can take many forms, but authenticity is key. Words must align with intention. Empty praise, casual compliments, or superficial remarks do not leave a lasting impact. True acknowledgement is heartfelt. It requires observation, understanding, and sincerity. A simple, I noticed how hard you worked on this project, or I see the effort you put into helping others, can mean more than elaborate speeches or public recognition. It is the depth of awareness and the authenticity of your response that makes acknowledgement so powerful. Consistency also plays a crucial role. Recognition should not be reserved only for monumental achievements or rare occasions. It should be a steady thread woven into daily interactions. When you consistently acknowledge someone's efforts, you build trust, affirmation, and connection. People begin to feel secure in the knowledge that their work and presence are valued, not only when it meets certain standards, but simply because they are giving their best. Recognition becomes a habit of caring, a reflection of your respect and attention toward another human being. Acknowledgement is also about timing. Recognizing someone in the moment, as their effort unfolds, can be far more impactful than waiting until the end. Immediate acknowledgement reinforces the value of what they are doing and motivates them to continue with enthusiasm. It shows that you are present and engaged, and that their efforts are meaningful to you right now. This immediacy communicates a deep level of respect and attention that lingers far beyond the words spoken. Finally, acknowledgement strengthens relationships. When people feel that their efforts, achievements, and struggles are recognized, it builds mutual respect, trust, and emotional intimacy. They feel seen and understood, and in turn, they are more likely to open their hearts and share more of themselves with you. Recognition is a cycle of positivity. The more you acknowledge, the more connection you foster, and the more alive the relationship becomes. It is a powerful tool in making someone feel truly special, as it honors not just what they do, but who they are. When you make it a practice to sincerely acknowledge the efforts, achievements, and struggles of those around you, you plant seeds of encouragement, warmth, and belonging in their hearts. It is one of the simplest yet most profound ways to make someone feel valued and special, and it leaves an impression that endures far beyond the moment. Remembering small details about someone's life and referring to them meaningfully is a powerful way to make them feel special. It shows that you are not just passively interacting, but actively engaged in their world. Every person carries stories, experiences, preferences, and moments that are unique to them. When you take the time to notice and remember these details, you are communicating that they matter to you, that their life has significance beyond the surface. It is in these small, thoughtful recognitions that people feel truly seen, valued, and appreciated. Life is often filled with distractions, and genuine attention has become rare, which makes the act of remembering even more profound. The process begins with awareness. It is about tuning into conversations, paying attention not just to what is said, but to what is felt, Noticing the subtle cues, the fleeting expressions, the things that make someone light up or pause. A person may casually mention their favorite book, a childhood memory, a challenge they are facing, or a small goal they are working on. To many, these details might seem insignificant, but to the individual, they hold meaning. When you remember and later refer to these moments, it signals that you were truly listening and that their life matters enough to occupy space in your mind. This kind of attentiveness fosters trust and deepens connections, as it shows care beyond the superficial level. It is not only about remembering facts but also about remembering emotions. The tone, the excitement, the hesitations, and the vulnerabilities shared reveal what is important to someone. When you reflect these emotions back in future conversations, you validate their experiences and feelings. Asking about a project they were anxious about, recalling a story they once shared, or celebrating an achievement they were proud of, are all ways of acknowledging their inner world. This demonstrates a profound respect for their individuality and an appreciation for the journey they are on, rather than just the surface-level outcomes. Consistency in remembering and referring to these details amplifies the effect. 1. Time recognition may be noticed, but regular, thoughtful engagement builds a sense of security and belonging. It signals that you genuinely care, not just in moments of convenience or celebration, but as an ongoing practice. When someone feels that their life is being remembered and honored, they experience a quiet yet powerful affirmation that they are significant in your eyes. They begin to associate your presence with comfort, care, and attention, which strengthens emotional bonds and fosters deeper trust. The act of recalling details also provides opportunities for meaningful gestures. A small note about something they mentioned, a surprise related to their interests, or simply bringing up a shared memory can have an outsized impact. These gestures show that you are actively invested in their happiness and well-being. They do not require extravagance or grandiosity, only mindfulness. The power lies in the fact that you remember when others might forget, that you value the things they care about, and that you reflect their significance in your actions and words. This attention to detail is an invisible thread that weaves connection, respect, and appreciation into the fabric of your relationship. Moreover, remembering small details creates moments of joy and belonging. Humans thrive on acknowledgement and recognition, and when someone recalls even the smallest fact about your life, it triggers a sense of warmth, trust, and importance. They feel seen for who they truly are, beyond appearances, beyond roles, beyond fleeting interactions. This sense of being genuinely understood and remembered nurtures self-worth, confidence, and emotional security. In a world that often overlooks subtlety, these tiny acts of attention become monumental. Remembering and referencing details also shows emotional intelligence. It demonstrates empathy, patience, and awareness. You are not just processing information, but connecting it to their lived experience and responding in ways that are thoughtful and meaningful. People sense when your engagement is authentic, when it is driven by curiosity, care, and respect. It is not manipulation or strategy. It is a natural extension of valuing someone's existence. The energy you invest in remembering and honoring details reflects your respect for them as a person, which is deeply fulfilling and enriching for both parties. Making someone feel special through remembering details requires intention and presence. It is a conscious choice to slow down, to pay attention, to honor their individuality, and to act on that awareness. Every remembered fact, every referred moment, every thoughtful connection you make reinforces their significance in your life. It is not about perfection or exhaustive memory, but about demonstrating care in ways that are noticeable and meaningful. These gestures create a ripple effect, strengthening relationships, deepening emotional bonds, and cultivating an environment where people feel safe, valued, and cherished. when you make the effort to remember the small details and bring them into your interactions, you are giving a gift that cannot be measured by material value. You are offering acknowledgement, presence, and affirmation, gifts that linger in the heart and create lasting connections. Speaking words that uplift, encourage, and validate someone's feelings is one of the most profound ways to make them feel special. Words are more than sounds. They are vessels of energy, intention, and impact. The way we communicate can build bridges or walls, inspire confidence or sow doubt, illuminate paths or obscure them in darkness. Every person carries within them vulnerabilities, dreams, fears, and desires. When we choose words carefully, when we speak with awareness and authenticity, we hold the power to affirm, to heal, and to uplift. The voice is not just an instrument of conversation, but a tool to recognize and honor the existence and worth of another human being. To make someone feel truly special through words, one must first cultivate sincerity. Empty praise or insincere flattery may catch attention for a fleeting moment, but it fails to touch the heart. People have an innate ability to sense authenticity. They can feel the difference between words that are rehearsed and words that are deeply felt. True uplifting words emerge from observation, understanding, and care. When you recognize someone's effort, bravery, or progress, and communicate it from a place of genuine admiration, you plant a seed of affirmation in their heart. It reassures them that their actions, emotions, and journey matter and are worthy of recognition. Encouraging words act as catalysts for growth and confidence. Every person faces moments of doubt, hesitation, or fear, often questioning their abilities or worth. A kind, motivating word can provide the spark needed to reignite hope and determination. It might be a simple acknowledgement, "I see how hard you are trying," or "Your persistence is inspiring." These statements, though brief, carry immense power because they reinforce the value of effort and resilience. Words of encouragement remind people that they are not alone in their journey and that their struggles do not diminish their significance. They instill courage and inspire forward movement, often more than external rewards or recognition ever could. Validation is equally essential in making someone feel special. Validation is the act of recognizing and affirming someone's emotions, thoughts, and experiences without judgment. It is telling them, "I see your struggle, and it is real. Your feelings are valid, and it is okay to feel this way." Validation does not mean you have to fix problems or provide solutions. It is simply honoring their emotional reality. When someone feels heard and validated, they experience a profound sense of relief and connection. It reduces isolation, strengthens trust, and nurtures emotional intimacy. Words that validate convey respect for the individual's inner world, signaling that their thoughts, emotions, and perspectives are meaningful and worthy of acknowledgement. The way words are delivered matters as much as the words themselves. Tone, timing, and context influence their impact. A word of encouragement said at the right moment can lift a heavy heart, while a careless remark can diminish confidence and create distance. Therefore, speaking with awareness is crucial. Observe the person's emotional state, the context of their situation, and tailor your words to resonate with their experience. Speak with warmth, empathy, and clarity. Avoid judgment, criticism, or dismissiveness, as even unintended negativity can overshadow the positive intention behind your words. When words are aligned with genuine care, they become a powerful instrument for making someone feel special. Listening plays a complementary role in speaking uplifting words. The more you listen and understand, the more your words can be targeted, relevant, and meaningful. By absorbing their concerns, triumphs, and reflections, you can respond in ways that directly affirm their unique journey. Listening and speaking are intertwined. One informs the other. Through attentive listening, your encouragement and validation gain depth, precision, and authenticity. It shows that your words are not generic or routine, but a reflection of true understanding and appreciation for the individual. Consistency also strengthens the impact of uplifting words. Occasional recognition may leave fleeting impressions, but regular affirmation nurtures lasting confidence and self-worth. When someone experiences consistent encouragement, validation, and acknowledgement, they develop a sense of security and belonging. They begin to associate your presence with positivity, support, and affirmation, which deepens trust and strengthens the relationship. In this way, the practice of speaking encouraging and validating words becomes a steady force that reinforces connection and demonstrates genuine care. Speaking words that uplift, encourage, and validate is a conscious choice, a daily practice of awareness, empathy, and intention. It is not about grand speeches or eloquent phrases, but about consistently recognizing the value, effort, and humanity of those around you. Every word carries weight, and when used thoughtfully, it has the power to inspire, heal, and make someone feel genuinely special. When you commit to speaking with authenticity, encouragement, and validation, you create a space where people feel recognized, supported, and deeply valued. Celebrating someone's uniqueness is one of the most powerful ways to make them feel special. Every person carries within them a set of qualities, experiences, and perspectives that no one else possesses. Yet, in a world that often emphasizes conformity and comparison, these unique traits can go unnoticed or even underappreciated. To truly honor someone is to see them as they are, without imposing expectations or standards that belong to others. It is to recognize that their individuality, their quirks, their strengths, and even their imperfections all contribute to their value and their impact on the world. When you celebrate someone's uniqueness, you are essentially saying, "You are enough as you are, and your presence matters." Recognizing uniqueness begins with observation and appreciation. It requires paying attention to the qualities that distinguish someone, whether it is their creativity, their sense of humor, their empathy, their courage, or the way they approach challenges. These qualities are often subtle, expressed in small gestures, habits, or patterns of thought. By noticing them and acknowledging them openly, you provide validation that can uplift their spirit. For example, complimenting someone on the originality of their ideas or the care they put into helping others demonstrates that you see and value what makes them different. Such recognition reinforces the idea that their individuality is a strength, not something to be minimized or overlooked. Celebrating uniqueness also involves resisting comparison. Too often, people are measured against the standards, successes, or behaviors of others, and this comparison can erode confidence and self-worth. When you highlight someone's distinct qualities without placing them in a competitive frame, you emphasize their intrinsic value. It is not about being better than anyone else. It is about being authentically themselves. By focusing on who they are rather than how they match up to others, you create a space where they feel free to express themselves fully, without fear of judgment. This freedom is liberating and empowering, and it allows their true self to shine brightly. Genuine celebration of uniqueness goes beyond words. It is reflected in actions as well. It may be as simple as encouraging someone to pursue their passions, supporting their choices, even when they differ from the mainstream, or giving them space to express their thoughts and ideas without interruption. It is about fostering an environment where differences are respected and embraced. Every thoughtful gesture that recognizes and validates someone's individuality communicates a deep level of care and respect. This consistent acknowledgement of what makes them distinct strengthens relationships, builds trust, and cultivates mutual appreciation. Another important aspect of celebrating uniqueness is understanding that everyone's journey is different. People face diverse challenges, carry varied experiences, and progress at their own pace. When you honor their individuality, you also honor the context of their life. You acknowledge that their path, their timing, and their approach are valid and worthy of recognition. This perspective fosters empathy, reduces judgment, and enhances your ability to connect with them on a deeper level. By appreciating their personal journey, you make them feel seen in a holistic sense, not just for isolated achievements or moments. Encouraging someone to embrace their uniqueness also nurtures self-confidence and resilience. When people feel valued for who they truly are, they are more likely to trust themselves, pursue their passions, and navigate challenges with greater courage. Your recognition acts as a mirror, reflecting their worth back to them in a way that strengthens their self-perception. They begin to internalize the idea that their individuality is not only acceptable but remarkable, giving them the confidence to contribute fully to their relationships, work, and communities. Finally, celebrating uniqueness is an ongoing practice. It is not a single compliment or a rare acknowledgement. It is a habit of noticing, affirming, and valuing the distinctive qualities in those around you. Consistency in this practice communicates a sincere respect for their personhood and a recognition of the light they bring into the world. It reminds them that they are not just another face in the crowd, but someone whose presence makes a meaningful difference. This kind of acknowledgement fosters deep emotional connections and leaves a lasting impression, creating a sense of belonging and significance. When you make it a habit to celebrate someone's uniqueness, you help them embrace themselves fully and feel genuinely appreciated. You show that their individuality is a gift, not only to themselves but to everyone around them. Offering acts of kindness that show thoughtfulness rather than obligation is one of the most meaningful ways to make someone feel special. Kindness, when genuine and intentional, communicates care and attention without needing grand gestures or formal declarations. It is in the subtle, considered actions, the ones that arise from a sincere desire to brighten someone's day or ease their burdens, that people truly feel valued. Thoughtful acts demonstrate that you are paying attention, that you are aware of their needs, and that you care enough to respond in ways that are personal and meaningful. Unlike obligations or duties performed out of routine or social expectation, authentic kindness carries emotional resonance that lingers and creates lasting impact. The first element of meaningful kindness is awareness. To offer kindness that resonates, you must notice the person's circumstances, mood, and preferences. It requires sensitivity to both spoken and unspoken needs, recognizing the moments when a small gesture could make a difference. Observing carefully allows you to tailor your actions so that they are not generic or routine, but intentional and relevant. Whether it is offering a listening ear when someone is stressed, bringing them something that reflects their taste, or simply sharing a word of encouragement at the right moment, your attention demonstrates that you see them fully. It is this attentiveness that transforms ordinary acts into expressions of genuine care. Another key aspect is thoughtfulness. Thoughtful kindness is not measured by its size or cost, but by the consideration behind it. It is the difference between doing something because you have to and doing something because you want to make their life better in that moment. It could be remembering a small detail they mentioned in passing and acting on it, or anticipating a need before they even voice it. Thoughtful acts often carry a personal touch that shows reflection and intention. This creates a sense of being valued because the person recognizes that your actions were not random or perfunctory. They were chosen with them in mind. Consistency is also essential. Kindness is most impactful when it is a steady, reliable presence rather than an occasional or performative act. Small, repeated gestures over time build trust, comfort, and a sense of belonging. People notice patterns of care and respond to them with gratitude and connection. When your kindness is consistent, it communicates that your attention and regard are not fleeting, that their well-being and happiness matter to you beyond isolated moments. This reliability nurtures a sense of security and affirmation, reinforcing the idea that they are genuinely appreciated. Acts of kindness also gain depth when they are personalized. Generic gestures, though polite, often lack the emotional resonance that makes someone feel truly special. When you consider the individual's preferences, struggles, and personality, your actions carry a unique significance. For example, preparing a favorite treat, sending a message of encouragement tailored to their situation, or offering help in a way that suits their comfort level, shows that you are connecting with them as an individual, not as a general recipient of kindness. Personalization elevates acts from routine to remarkable, and this is what leaves a lasting impression. Timing plays an important role in the impact of kindness. A thoughtful act offered at the right moment, when someone is struggling, lonely, or overwhelmed, can have a profound effect. It demonstrates that you are attuned to their experience and willing to step in at a time when it matters most. Conversely, acts delivered without attention to timing may be overlooked or feel less meaningful. Sensitivity to context ensures that your actions resonate and provide genuine support or comfort. It is also important to understand that true kindness does not seek reward or recognition. Acts of genuine care are given freely, without expectation of repayment or praise. The value lies in the impact on the recipient and the intention behind the gesture. When kindness is authentic, it strengthens relationships, fosters trust, and cultivates mutual respect. People feel seen, appreciated, and supported. And these feelings deepen bonds far more than any material gift or outward display of generosity ever could. Finally, offering acts of thoughtfulness encourages reciprocity, not as obligation but as inspiration. Witnessing genuine care often inspires others to act with similar awareness and empathy. In this way, kindness becomes a ripple that extends beyond a single interaction, creating a culture of care and attention where people feel valued and understood. When someone experiences thoughtful gestures regularly, they internalize the message that they are significant, their presence matters, and their happiness is worth your attention. When you make it a habit to offer acts of kindness that are thoughtful and intentional, you communicate care in a way that touches the heart, strengthens connection, and makes someone feel genuinely special. Being present consistently is one of the most profound ways to make someone feel special. In a world that moves at a relentless pace, where distractions are constant and attention is fragmented, the gift of your full presence has become rare and invaluable. Presence is not merely being physically near someone, it is the act of engaging with them fully, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It is showing that you are invested in the moment you share, that their existence, thoughts, and feelings matter enough to occupy your undivided attention. When you are consistently present, you communicate to someone that they are important, that they are worthy of your time and energy, and that their experience is meaningful. Consistency in presence builds trust and reliability. People feel safe when they know that your attention and care are not fleeting or conditional. It is not enough to be there only when it is convenient or when circumstances are favorable. True presence requires showing up again and again through both joyful and challenging times. This constancy reassures people that they can rely on you, that they are not alone in their journey, and that their thoughts and emotions will be acknowledged and respected. Being consistently present turns relationships into spaces of security, warmth, and mutual understanding. To be present requires mindfulness. It demands that you put aside distractions, phones, obligations, preoccupations, and focus on the person in front of you. It means listening with intention, observing without judgment, and responding with empathy. This level of awareness communicates that you value their presence as much as your own, and that the time you share together is significant. The act of focusing completely on another person, of immersing yourself in their world for a moment, conveys respect, care, and attention in ways that words alone cannot. People feel recognized and appreciated simply by the quality of your presence. Presence is also about emotional engagement. It is not enough to be physically there if your mind or heart is elsewhere. Genuine presence involves tuning into the emotions behind the words, understanding the unspoken needs, and responding with sensitivity. When someone senses that you are attuned to their feelings, that you notice their joys and struggles, they feel seen in a profound and lasting way. Emotional presence strengthens connections, fosters intimacy, and nurtures a sense of belonging, making people feel valued not just for what they do, but for who they are. Consistency in presence also means showing patience. People have their own rhythms, their own challenges, and their own ways of expressing themselves. Being present requires honoring those rhythms, allowing space for thought, reflection, and emotional expression. It is resisting the urge to rush conversations, to impose solutions, or to judge. Patience communicates respect for their process and validates their experience. It is in these moments of quiet attention and understanding that people feel the depth of your care and recognize their importance in your life. Presence is further enhanced by small, intentional actions. Simple gestures such as maintaining eye contact, offering a warm smile, gently acknowledging their feelings, or following up on previous conversations demonstrate that your attention is ongoing and genuine. These seemingly minor acts are powerful because they signal continuity and care. People remember these moments not because of their grandeur, but because they reflect authenticity, thoughtfulness, and commitment to the relationship. Your consistent attention becomes a thread connecting their experiences to your presence, reinforcing their sense of significance. Being consistently present also inspires reciprocity in emotional connection. When someone experiences your authentic presence, they are more likely to open themselves, share their thoughts and feelings, and engage fully in return. This creates a cycle of understanding, empathy, and care that strengthens relationships and fosters mutual respect. Presence becomes not just an act, but a way of nurturing meaningful connections, demonstrating that their life, feelings, and efforts are recognized and cherished. Finally, presence is a reflection of commitment. To be consistently present is to choose to prioritize the person in front of you, to invest your time, energy, and attention, and to honor them with your awareness. It is an ongoing practice that communicates, without words, that they are valuable, their experiences matter, and their presence in your life is significant. The act of being fully present again and again leaves an indelible impression on the heart and mind, making someone feel truly special. When you make the choice to be present consistently, you give a gift that is both simple and profound, the gift of recognition, care, and unwavering attention that validates their worth and deepens your connection. In the journey of making someone feel truly special, we have explored the power of listening with intention, acknowledging efforts and struggles, remembering the small details, speaking words that uplift and validate, celebrating uniqueness, offering thoughtful acts of kindness, and being consistently present. Each of these steps is not merely a gesture, but a practice of awareness, empathy, and care, a conscious choice to honor another human being for who they are. When we embrace these principles, we create connections that are meaningful, relationships that are deep, and moments that leave lasting impressions on the hearts of those around us. Remember, making someone feel special is not about grand gestures or perfection. It is about presence, sincerity, and the small, intentional actions that communicate to others that they matter. Every effort you make to see, hear, and appreciate another person is a reflection of your humanity, a ripple of kindness that extends far beyond the immediate moment. As you carry these practices into your life, you will not only brighten the lives of others, but also enrich your own. because in lifting others, we ourselves grow and discover the true depth of connection and fulfillment. So go forth with awareness, compassion, and intentionality. Make the choice each day to recognize, uplift, and celebrate the people around you. Let your words, actions, and presence be a source of warmth and encouragement. The world becomes a brighter, more caring place when we dedicate ourselves to making others feel valued and cherished. Good luck on this journey of connection and care, and thank you for taking the time to embrace the art of making someone feel truly special.